Hey there, today I'm going to talk about a story that I've told it a million times to people around me in different lengths and different grades of detail and stuff like that. But I'm doing this video more for myself to just talk about it, to talk it all out pretty much, like one last time. It's because I feel like I've talked about this so often that, I don't know. I just feel like I'm repeating myself. And so I want to get this video out. I want to maybe get the opinion of other people on the internet there because, to be quite honest, I'm still not sure. I'm quite sure, actually, that I'm in the right with this whole thing. And that I'm not insane for being still angry and hurt about it. But yeah, I need an outside opinion. Maybe I'm obsessing over this. Probably, actually. But, after you hear the story, you will understand why. Maybe a little bit better, at least. And yeah. So let's start at the very beginning. This is going to be a story about mental illness. Specific, what was it? Borderline syndrome and depression in general, and suicide and betrayal. Oh, really, really cool stuff, Anyway, yeah, this is going to be a sad story, a bad story. Let's start at the very beginning, though, so that you understand maybe a little bit better. It obviously has to do with a woman, as good stories or bad stories always do, right? Many of them do start with a woman. Wars started with women. Just saying. But yeah, I met my ex-girlfriend. Let's not say specifics here, where or names. Let's call her Paula or whatever. I met Paula in a city when I went there for a casting, right? About some YouTube online live show, whatever. It doesn't matter. I held like a subscriber kind of thing where I said, hey, very spontaneously, subscribers, meet up with me there and there. And she was actually the only one showing up just because she was living in that town. And she still lives there. And, she had time. It was really spontaneous. So I was happy that someone showed up. And I had a friend with me, also a YouTuber, who joined us, obviously, for the whole thing. That was actually when Germany was in the World Championship. So what we did was we just watched it together, right? So we did, and it was lots of fun. It was really cool. Then after that, we went to a club together. Or not really a club, it was more like a bar, really cheap, kind of sleazy bar. But it was cheap, that's why we went there in the first place. And yeah, it was really cool. The girl, Paula, and I, my ex, got closer, because there was, like, from my side at least, I don't know what it was like for her. I think what she told me later was that it was kind of the same, that she wanted to talk to me as well. She was kind of nervous about talking to me or whatever, but I felt this kind of chemistry right from the start. And yeah, we kissed in the bar, and one thing led to the next. It was actually that I've never done that before. You have to believe me when I say this. We went straight back to my hotel, and nothing, like, we didn't go all the way, but we did things in the hotel, and then saw each other the next day again. She came to my hotel, and then it happened. I've never done that before. I can't speak for her, obviously, if she's done that before or not. But from my side, it was just really this strong physical attraction that I have not felt with anyone else, had not felt. So I was kind of happy about that, obviously. And she even said, like, oh, you're perfect. And if you lived here, I would make you mine, she said. I was like, oh, no one ever said that to me either. So I was kind of like, oh, this is cool, a pretty girl that I really like already. Is interested in me, right? So yeah, that was cool. And I said, obviously, let's just try to make it work because she comes from another country. And I was just visiting there. And the country isn't far away, though. It's like an hour or so by plane away from where I live. So it was cool. We said we would make it work somehow, or would try at least, right? And what we did was met each other again 3 weeks later. She came to my country, to Germany. I live in Germany. No big secret there. But 3 weeks later, she visited me in Germany. Had a great time. Went to Bremen, actually, and had the great chemistry. Really great. Just pretty much picked up where we left off when we left each other in that city. Went to Cologne, did stuff together. There, still, I just can repeat it, the amazing chemistry that I've never ever felt with anyone else before. Still continued. We lived together 24/7 pretty much for that time period, just because, she was visiting. It was great. I wouldn't be able to do that with just anyone, because then you really notice what the other person is like. Anyway, we had a great time, and we decided that after some time I would visit her and stay with her at her place. But because I'm a YouTuber full time, I can obviously just, stay longer. And so that's what we did. Stayed there for a couple of months, actually. And things were absolutely amazing. At least, she didn't tell me any otherwise. It seemed as if she was happy as well. And I pretty much was as happy in a relationship like never before. I don't think I've ever been that happy in a relationship, which was amazing to me because the one before that went sideways really badly. The one before that went south. So, yeah, I was really happy. Sex was great, amazing. Like I said, that was probably because of the chemistry as well, though. It just has to. The chemistry is everything. A friend of mine explained love like that, made it a bit too rational for my taste, but I can definitely understand it now. That love is just chemistry, just chemicals telling our brain to feel happy because we can smell the other person, like, oh yeah, the pheromones and all that stuff. If that is really compatible, well, then you are in love pretty much. And that was exactly the way for me. I will not say that it was the same for her, even though I believed it at the time. I believed that for a long time. That she felt the same way about me because, she was not saying anything. She seemed really happy until the cracks began to appear, obviously, like they always do. I found out, I have like a baggage. I will just talk really openly and freely now. I've been really depressed because my brother committed suicide in 2009. I think everyone would be depressed to some extent when something like that happens, obviously. And I lost a good friend of mine years earlier to cancer. My grandpa died, but every grandpa dies every now and then, so if not, eventually. So I guess that doesn't really count, but, just things kind of stacked up. Well, she told me as well that she was very, very depressed before, tried to kill herself before with pills, that she's harming herself, or was at least. I've never noticed her doing that during our relationship. I can't say that she didn't, because, people like that, as I found out, are very good at hiding their secrets. So I told her about my brother, actually. That's how that came to be. I told her about my brother, and then she opened up to me about those things, said that she never told anyone before. I think at least, maybe, I'm not sure, at least very few people. So I felt good about that, because we were telling each other things and opening up to each other. That was good. So I obviously tried to, make her feel better. I said that I would be there for her and help her. And, I meant that. I really meant that. I've never meant anything like as much as I meant that at the time. And that's when I noticed that not everything was, perfect, but that's normal. I wouldn't have cared at all. She told me also that she used to be in an open relationship with a guy called Danny. She said it was a hairdresser. And that was kind of strange to me, just because, an open relationship is not anything I would do personally. She comes from a slightly different culture. And so I thought maybe that's why, turns out that, there wasn't everything behind the thing. I didn't care at the time because she was with me. She seemed to be happy, faithful, whatever. I didn't care. And, we continued on the relationship. I actually even went to her hometown with her because she wasn't living there at the time. Visited her parents with her. Got along so well with them. She introduced me to, I think, what was every single family member of hers, which was strange to me just because it was relatively early, but I didn't mind because I really liked her. I really wanted things to work out, and I wanted to her family to like me. And I mean, from what I saw, they did. I liked them as well. Again, there were cracks in the perfect scenario because apparently she didn't get along with her mom very well. The mom had mental issues has mental issues even though she's a doctor. Her dad, more of a friend to her than a real dad in the end. That's, the impression that I kind of got. Her sisters seemed to be fine, and I liked her as well. And my ex Paula got along with her the best, I think, and her dad. But I think she had some kind of issues with the dad. Just later, more about that later. But yeah, introduced me to the grandmas, to the grandpas, to so many people. And so I thought, wow, she must be really, taking this seriously. That's good. And I wanted to return the favor, but she already met my family anyway. But yeah, things went really well. She introduced me to her roommates, which was also her best friend, and her boyfriend. Really liked them. I liked everyone in her life at that point. It was really cool. So I was really confident, right? Why wouldn't I be? Yeah. So things went well for a whole while. I was so happy. I thought this might be it for me personally. I thought, this is good. This is good. Until, little things emerged. For example, she's obsessed with tattoos and stuff like that. I love tattoos on people, right? I don't have any myself yet, just because I rather invest my money in other things most of the time. But I like them on other people for sure. And so, we went to her tattoo artist that she knows since she moved to that town already, pretty much for, I think it was 1 or 2 years. I think at that time it might have been 1 year. Not sure. But she's friends with him. Obviously, because they spend a lot of time together whenever they tattoo. And, his name was Danny, which was kind of strange to me because she told me, obviously, if you remember, that she was in an open relationship with a guy called Danny before. She wouldn't say if it was the same guy. She always told me, if I asked, just out of curiosity, is it that guy? Is it that Danny? She said, no. It's different Danny. Back then I believed her. I'm not, I'm not a jealous person usually. I'm not, I trust people. I used to trust people a lot without even questioning it. I think that's a good thing. Maybe a bit naive. I'm not that naive anymore, by the way. But yeah, I said, okay, I believe you. It's not the same Danny. Then he did something strange when we visited that one time when I came with her, right? Just to hand him some books or whatever with tattoo stuff. And what he did pissed me off at the time, obviously, but I didn't want to be rude. Maybe, he's just that kind of guy, an asshole. But, who would do that? Here's what he did. he stroked her arm like this, right, and said like, "Oh, Paula has such soft skin, don't you think?" And I was like, "Really, dude? I'm a boyfriend. I'm sitting right here. You're doing that in front of me? How disrespectful! How more disrespectful could it get?" Other people would have probably punched him or said something. I knew that they were friends. That's why I didn't want to, I didn't want to create trouble where there wasn't any trouble. Because the funny thing is, she even said, like, when I asked her later in the relationship after things went south already, have you ever done stuff with him? Would you ever? And she was like, with that tiny man, no way I would ever, no. And, so I didn't worry at the time at all. Like, he was not very impressive as a person at all. Almost 40, working in a tattoo parlor. I mean, owning the place, yes, but with that age, you should. But yeah. So yeah, I wasn't worried. Went on about our business. She visited me in September again for a weekend because at some point I had to go back to Germany to get some stuff done for work and whatnot, and just, to go back home at some point. She visited, was really great. Came back for Halloween to stay a little bit longer because Halloween's my birthday. It was so much fun, was really great. Everything was good. Until her roommate moved out, pretty much. That's when I think shit began to fall apart. Her roommate moved to another city, her best friend pretty much, and she felt kind of abandoned, as if she had no one in the world anymore, even though she had me. But I understand that, when I'm in a relationship, I still want my friends, and I understand how she was feeling down and depressed about that. I would have felt the same probably. But yeah, so she was really unhappy about that, and she got involved with a friend that she knows from childhood that lives in the same town that she moved to. And that friend is into drugs, into lots of bullshit. Now I found out about that later. Like, I didn't know the person before. The first time I heard about that person was when she came with Paula to the tattoo artist, just so that she wouldn't be alone there. And I thought, like, okay, I guess she's bored. But now I'm thinking, maybe that's another reason, because it would be awkward or whatever between them if no one was there. Who knows? Could be both. But yeah, she got involved with that friend that ran with a really bad crowd with a whole bunch of other losers like all into drugs, all into blackout partying all weekend, every weekend. They're like in their 20s, early 20s. My girlfriend at the time was, how old was she back then? 20, I think, at the time. And her friends were even younger, so really stupid still, really irresponsible, and, just losers for that matter. So she got influenced by those people because she wanted friends. She's not a very strong person. I know that now. So she just, adapted to what they were like. Actually, that's not true. By now, I think she must have taken drugs before. Because no one, she started, what she told me later was, like, she started with MDMA, then went to cocaine, ketamine, and who knows what else, crack. I think she told me that she smoked crack once. But yeah, anyway, I didn't know about any of that, and I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I don't believe that she is, that she's taken drugs for the first time then. But yeah, she got involved with that person that later led her to take drugs again, or for the first time, who knows. But yeah, she visited me again for Christmas. First time ever in her life, from what she told me, that she spent Christmas outside of home. What she did, though, was she went to her parents' place, like a couple of days before she came here. And her mom, like I said, has mental issues as well, anger management issues and stuff like that, threatens to divorce her husband all the time. Sad story, but that's how it is. Grew up, my ex had to grow up with that kind of stuff around her. So it probably, made her the person that she is, in a way at least. No excuse for stupid behavior or, acting like an asshole. Later more about that. But yeah, she went there, and her mom apparently told her, and like when they had a fight, she would rather slit her own wrists than spending one more second in this family. And so being told that right before Christmas would obviously get you down, depressed if your own mother told you that. I understand that. Completely normal. Would get me depressed as well. But what she did then, she came here and blamed me pretty much for not entertaining her enough, for not doing enough stuff with her. Because then she would sit here where I'm sitting right now, writing, like she was a tattoo enthusiast, like I said, a really good artist as well. She worked as an art designer, or still works, I don't know, whatever, art designer for movies and stuff like that, art design assistant, I think, the lower level, but it's still really, really talented. And she used to then just sit here while I was working as well, because I have to work as well, obviously. I am independent worker, like I'm self-employed, but YouTuber, but I still have to work a lot, like an office job pretty much, just sit in front of the computer and do stuff. So I didn't have the time all the time to do to do stuff with her. And it was Christmas time, and in that time period, people here in Germany, at least where I live, my family especially, we just stay at home, enjoy the mood around the house and stuff like that, and yeah, just normal Christmas stuff. And I wanted to, make her see how we celebrate Christmas as well. And I asked her, like, what do you think? Should we save up money so that I can stay longer with you in your hometown? Because I wanted to go back with her for a couple of months again, And she agreed to that. Later I found out that wasn't the right choice from my side, because she wanted to be completely entertained. I understand now why, because it's obviously way easier to not think about your problems if you're constantly doing stuff. You're not dealing with the problems, but you don't think about those problems. And that's, that was pretty much her strategy for everything. Just distract yourself enough. Don't deal with your problems, so just distract yourself enough until, you forget everything. That's how she got into drugs as well, I think, or started taking them again, whatever. Just to forget, not to deal with her problems. Really immature way of dealing with things, not dealing with them at all. And then, just partying it up, taking drugs, bullshit behavior, kid behavior. But yeah, she was really emotionless and like kind of not affectionate at all. So I was really sad and worried, because I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, have I done something wrong? And then she told me about the thing with her mom, and I just wanted to help her, obviously. And I wanted to be there for her. But I had the feeling, like, that one night, for example, when we slept with each other, before we got into the whole thing, she said, like, oh, I'm in two minds about this. But I just, thought that I didn't think more about it, because, I don't know. I just wanted things, I guess, back. I didn't want things to be bad. I wanted to be happy with her, because I was still really happy with her. I would have stayed with her until the very end. I don't care if someone has problems. Everyone has problems, like baggage, whatever. That's normal. No, you will not find a single person that is completely perfect. And she made me happy, so I wanted to make her happy as well. I know now that I should have probably asked what's going on. Then I don't know, maybe it would have sped things up, because what I think was that she was thinking about breaking up with me by the time already, maybe for different reasons than what I thought. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, then she went back to her hometown. She seemed really enthusiastic about it, because she was speaking with her friends, the drug friends, and other people that she's now not in contact anymore, I don't think. Talking about that, yeah, let's party it up when you come back. It's going to be really great, and whoa, yeah. And she was probably happy about that, so she could forget about her problems. Again, really mature way to deal with those things. But yeah, what happened then pretty much was, I'm not sure about the exact a timeline here anymore, but I think at some point I told her, like when she came back and from partying and told me the next day, I think that she took MDMA, ecstasy, whatever. I said, oh shit, because, I'm really worried about her, because I know exactly what happens to people like that, because I have friends that are former addicts, like former alcoholics, and some people that I know have been into drugs as well, and they have told me a whole lot. Like I've talked so much to these people, especially after I broke up with my ex, just because I wanted to understand better and help her as well, because I still wanted to help her for such a long time. I talked about that stuff with them, and they told me that obviously if you take drugs while you're depressed, it will just make things worse. You will get addicted really easily because you will feel amazing for the time you take those hard drugs, but then go down really hard again, and then you need stronger drugs and you will get addicted, more addicted, and it's going to be so much harder for you to ever stop that again. But my ex wasn't interested in stopping. She just, she was happy ignorance is bliss, right? So that's what she was practicing, partying it up and, not really caring about a thing in the world. How I felt, she couldn't give less of a shit about it, but yeah. Anyway, I told her I was disappointed in her for taking drugs. I wasn't angry. I was really just disappointed because I expected more of her. I had a really high opinion of her, like such a high opinion. And so I told her, actually a bit disappointed in you for doing that. And that triggered something in her. She snapped. She was really angry. Oh, that's what my mom always told me. And I was like, okay, well, bad choice of words, maybe. But I was disappointed. So I wanted to be, straight with her. I expect people to be straight with me, so I'm straight with them. And obviously I didn't want her to become an addict, which she later became, but more about that later. Yeah. She said she was about to break up with me, but I was really I was devastated. I was really devastated. Because I think I loved her, really loved her. From the aftermath, my feelings that I had after, I think it must have been love for me at least. Because I've never felt that much pain about a person breaking up with me before ever. I couldn't, it's not because she was the best person in the world, the most amazing person in the world. I mean, for me, yes, but it's, like I said, more about chemistry and how you fit together and stuff like that. And that was really great, and I really liked that and loved that. And so I was really devastated when she said she wanted to break up with me, as any normal human being would be. So obviously I tried to change her mind. I said oh no, please don't, I love you. No, I didn't say I love you at the time, I don't think, but I was about to say that actually in the relationship. Maybe she sensed that, maybe she didn't, maybe, I don't know, but I don't actually know why she wanted to break up with me for the real reason. Because now I don't believe a word out of her mouth anymore, and I can't be sure that she's ever told me the truth, really, about anything. But yeah, I got her to agree to which is never do that. It's the most stupid thing that you can do, to a relationship break, just a break, with the hopes of resuming it after. So yeah, she used that just to just party it up more. Made me feel terrible because what we agreed on was that she could see other people during that time, and I don't know if she did. She told me she didn't. Not sure if that's true or not, obviously, but I just with the whole drug thing, it destroyed me. It made me so miserable, not knowing what was going on, really, her not wanting me anymore, from one day to the next, pretty much. And I didn't do anything wrong. At least it did. From a normal person's perspective, at least I did not. I don't know what's going on in her brain. What she thought I did wrong. She, what she said once. You didn't push me to my extremes. I need someone, because I'm really spontaneous and extreme. I need someone to push me even more. And I'm like, really? That's your reason? And if what, do I need to infuse you with heroin or what? Yeah. Anyway, and I'm really spontaneous. Out of my friends, a group of friends, I'm the most spontaneous guy. I love to travel. I love to do things. But I'm also German, so I'm a reasonable traveler. I like to save money for traveling. I wanted to stay with her longer, so I wanted to save up money. But she blamed me for that, for not entertaining her enough. She didn't use those words, entertain, but that's what it was in the end. I didn't entertain her enough. She had too much time to think about her problems. And it all went south. And she agreed to the relationship break, absolutely destroyed me. And then eventually we broke up, obviously. Duh, what did I expect, right? And it didn't make things better because I still wanted to be in contact with her. I saw her, like, new guys and new people on her Snapchat all the time until we finally, like, broke that connection on Snapchat. And Instagram obsessed over that for a while as well, because I loved her. I wanted to be with her, and I just didn't understand what I did wrong. Why she would treat me this way, because I always treated her with the utmost respect. And I don't know. What she did then after, because, I wanted to help her. I knew that she was taking drugs, and at some point she told me about how she started taking cocaine and stuff like that. And she was like, wow, this is so great. Oh, it's so much fun. More fun than I ever had in my life. This was amazing. I was really getting worried then because obviously I knew the stories from my friends, how this all started with them back in the day. And, that's how it starts. And so I made her promise. I told her, I'm going to talk to your parents about that. If you don't, I will. Because she didn't want help from me at all. I said, if you don't take help from me, you will take help from them. And she called her dad. That's what she told me, at least. I'm not sure if she really did. Might have been a lie just to calm me down. And I said that I will, call your friends' parents as well. And she was really worried. Oh, she will be kicked out of university. Well, better not take drugs then. She said, we called the parents of my friend as well. I'm like, yeah, right, of course you did. And I didn't really give a shit about the friend because she could, whatever, I didn't care about her. But, she said, I called my dad. He wasn't really worried. He said, it's still mind-boggling. What he was worried about was more how I held that over her, because I threatened to tell her parents if she didn't stop, blah, blah. And he was more, apparently, at least that's what he told me, was more upset about that fact that I held that over her than her taking drugs. And at some point, she told me that he would rather send her money than she having to do stuff for the drugs. That's what I meant by the dad is more like a friend, like a good buddy or whatever, than a real father. A real dad wouldn't have said that. No chance in hell. But obviously that really, I thought that would help if she talked to her parents about it. Didn't help. They didn't do anything. From how I see it, is they just keep sending her money. Or kept at the time. I don't know, I haven't talked to her in a year or so. Or now quite a long time. But that really upset me as well, obviously, because I wanted to help. Now I felt completely powerless after that. She tried to kill herself as well. At some point. Because she got so upset about, her... Because I figured that she had borderline personality disorder. Because everything fit 100% when I looked up the symptoms. It just fit. Intense relationships... falling in and out of love really quickly, abusing drugs, self-harm, suicidal thoughts and actions, everything out of the textbook. And she saw that as well, obviously, was really upset about that. And then apparently tried to kill herself again, this time by slitting her wrist, I think. Oh no, wait, what was it that time? Not sure, I think it might have been pills again or something like that. And her friend, what she did was she texted me on WhatsApp. I'm not sure if they did that as a plan together or not. She claimed, my ex Paula claimed that she told her friend not to do that, whatever. She didn't want me to know. Not sure if that's true or not. Anyway, what she did was her friend texted me and said, "Oh, it's all your fault. She could have died because of you," and stuff like that. I was obviously completely distraught because my brother killed himself, and like everyone will blame themselves to an extent for stuff like that, because I could have done something, I could have said something, I could have seen it earlier, whatever. And so that was the lowest fucking dick move that anyone could have pulled on me, obviously. And they knew that. Both of them. Didn't care. And by now I know that she's just seeking for attention with that shit. Because, you know, my brother didn't seek for attention. He killed himself. He was dead. And my ex tried that now, 4 times? Really? Seeking for attention that way. I mean, manipulating people by doing that as well, because she loves how everyone cares about her when she does that stuff. Later about that, more about that later. But yeah, they blamed me for it, completely destroyed me as well, fucked me up, because I wanted to help her, not drive her into fucking suicide. But yeah, I continued to try to help her after that as well. Yeah. Anyway, I ended the contact. We ended contact. I don't know who. I don't know how it happened, but we just didn't talk anymore. I really, really had the hardest time in my life. With that on my conscience, and with the emotional damage that she left me with. Yeah, it was just really difficult time. And then at some point we started talking again. I liked a picture of hers on Instagram because I missed her, obviously, because what she did, she broke up with me over the internet, right? So I only knew the person that I loved, not the person that she's become. Or maybe by now I think the person that she's always been, kind of hidden behind a mask while we were together. Who knows? But yeah, we started talking again. Well, and I told her I'm going to visit my friend in your hometown soon. Shouldn't we meet up for coffee, and so that I can get some closure and see how we feel about each other now and stuff like that. And that's when she told me that she's now sleeping with her 40, almost by now I think he might be 40-year-old tattoo artist. She was 21 at the time. And after 3 months of not talking to me, because she said, "Oh yeah, after that fight, it just happened." I don't know if she just used that as an excuse to make that the starting point of when they saw each other, or if that's really true, because what I suspect is that they were seeing each other already earlier. But yeah, she told me that. I was like, what? Seriously? The guy that you said is tiny and pathetic and, that you would never touch? You're sleeping with that guy. Yeah, but he's not my boyfriend. He really doesn't want a girlfriend either. He just wants an open relationship. Can't be bothered with a girlfriend. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? Yeah, well, I go over there. We, have dinner parties and watch movies. And I'm like, and then you sleep together, like with each other, and then you leave or what? Sounds really romantic. And she was like, it's not that sleazy. I was like, it sounds kind of sleazy. But yeah, again, same guy, Denny. Like I said, I don't really believe in the whole story of Denny being 2 different Dennys. So yeah, it's a little bit too weird that they both are called Denny. Maybe she wanted to keep the name so that if she slipped up about talking about it, it wouldn't be as obvious. Because, oh yeah, his name is Denny too. I meant the other Denny. Stuff like that, Really, like, pathetic, made-up lies. I don't know, just easy to see through. But yeah, she slept with him at the time, and so I said, yeah, okay, so do you love him? No, I don't love him. Definitely don't love him, she said. I was like, okay. Can can we meet up then for coffee or whatever? Okay, she agreed. What she did then, one day before we were supposed to meet up, we did meet up, but what she did one day before, she fucking tried to kill herself, obviously. Slit her wrists like this, not like this, but like this. Apparently took lots of sleeping pills as well. Her friend found her. Her parents apparently don't know about any of this, which is really bad, but yeah. Her drug friend found her or whatever and brought her to the hospital. So she sent me I saw Snapchats of her because we had added each other on Snapchat again at the time. Saw snaps of her in the hospital, so I knew it was true. I saw the really long, deep scar, whatever. I don't know how deep she really cut. If it was a tension again, whatever. Maybe she was upset about, emotionally upset about meeting with me. I don't know. Just bullshit. Yeah. We met up then anyway. Obviously, she came, didn't hide her scar. That's when I thought she was looking for attention or to make me feel upset about it as well, or trigger something in me. Who would leave that out in the open? No one. I talked to friends that were depressed that cut themselves. They said I would never ever show anyone that, and she just as if she was proud of it. I don't know. Maybe just to scare me off, because what else she did was she was shuffling a little see-through bag on the ground with her feet, and said when I asked oh, what did you do? I said, oh yeah, I was checking it for drugs. I was like, oh, okay, great. And while I was walking with her, she was on her phone with a drug dealer ordering some white Rolex bullshit. It's a drug. Some kind of, I don't know what it was, cocaine. Maybe. Yeah, just it was, now that I think about it, really obvious that she just wanted to scare me off with that whole bullshit. But if that was really true, that was just pathetic. But yeah. And then I asked her while we were eating at a burrito place, so what do you feel now? Do you feel any cravings? And she was like, oh yeah, I'd love some stuff now. I'm like, okay, great. I tried to talk some sense into her. I tried to help her. I said, if you would have died, I would have never, why would you do that to anyone that loves you around you? Why would you do that? She didn't say much about it. She didn't really care, I don't think. Didn't have an answer for me. Didn't really talk to me about that anymore. Didn't want to talk about that. She said, oh, I wish I wouldn't have come, and what, oh, bullshit. That's the thing with her as well. She can't talk about her problems. She can't talk straight about real stuff, just fake stuff like partying, drugs, bullshit. The thing that always really surprised me about her was that she seemed to have it well together when it comes to work, but her emotional and private life seems to be in chaos all the time. I guess mental illness will do that. But what she did with the mental illness as well, because whenever she pulled some bullshit on me, she treated me poorly or whatever, she would say, oh, yeah, depression is a really selfish illness. And she always used that kind of as an excuse for her behavior. And my friends, who are also depressed, like I said, told me, no, you don't use that as an excuse. If you know that you have a problem like that, you try to do something about it. My ex wouldn't have it. She wouldn't go to see a therapist. Only after she was hospitalized for trying to kill herself, she went to see a therapist because she had to. She ended that really quickly. The antidepressants obviously didn't work because she was taking them together with other drugs. She said, therapists don't know what to do with me anymore. And she was obviously really enjoying that, oh yeah, poor me. Yeah. It was just really sad, the whole thing. But yeah, we went our separate ways then. The other day, I wanted, because I stayed with a friend in her hometown, with one of my friends, we met up with that friend because as a mitigator pretty much, so that we wouldn't have to have that situation again. She didn't want it. She felt happy about meeting up with some other person that wouldn't be as persistent in asking her about her problems and stuff like that. That's what I think, at least. So we met up with that friend, and then when I was on the toilet, she would talk to her about the drugs and stuff like that. And what she told her was like, oh, I wish Dominic would try cocaine once and see how amazing it is, he would love it, and just shit like that. And I was like, really? Just to prove a point, you would make me take hard drugs? Really? That's that's how much of a shitty person you are. You really are. And I was just so shocked about that. And apparently later, much later, I found out that she was telling her friends that our breakup was mutual. It was the most ridiculous thing that I ever heard in my life. That the breakup was mutual. How can you... Maybe she makes herself believe that to feel less bad about it, because recently she contacted me as well again, saying, it sounded like the new song by Adele, Hello, pretty much. I hope you're happy. My life is perfect at the moment, she said. But the only thing that still sucks is how we left things. If you can let go of your hatred of me, I'm trying to let go of hateful feelings as well at the moment. I'm like, hateful feelings towards me? You have hateful feelings towards me. You have no right for that. Just because maybe the only thing that I did was make you tell your dad that you are a druggo. Oh, boo-hoo. Seriously. That's what you hate me for trying to help you not fuck up your life. Great reason to hate someone. And the whole, like she said in the beginning of the message, I want to make amends. But in the whole message, she didn't say sorry. She only stated how perfect her life was, with the exception how we left things. And she said I need to say this. At least I've tried. That's what I meant by it sounds like Adele's song. She must have copied the lyrics or written that up with her therapist. I don't know. Maybe she's now in therapy. That would be a good thing at least. But yeah. So what you wanted pretty much was my absolution. Just, her conscience clear. Not that she really cares about me. She just wanted her conscience clear. I didn't give her that. I didn't respond to that at all. Doesn't deserve it. I couldn't give less of a fuck about her anymore at this point. Just because no one in my whole life has treated me that shitty. Ever. No one. And people have treated me shitty. I was bullied in school and stuff like that. But no one has treated me that disrespectful. And just, trampled on all of my feelings for no reason whatsoever. Obviously, I'm telling you a lot now, but that obviously isn't everything. Some things that bother me now that I still think about every now and then are things like, she always used to tell me what a bad person she is when we were still together and happy. And I said, obviously, no, what you're talking about, obviously you're not a bad person. Stop saying that. Why would you be a bad person? You're not. I just think maybe she's done something at that time that made her feel so guilty and ashamed that she just was about to tell me, maybe. And that's why she said, I'm such a bad person, you will hate me for my depression. That's what she said. You will hate me for my depression at some point. And again, using her depression, her mental condition, as an excuse for shitty behavior, if that's really what happened. Not saying that it did, but it seems kind of weird now because she used to say that, and I'm like, no, you're not a bad person at all. But yeah. Also made weird comments about how cool would it be to be a drug dealer, so cool, easy money, blah blah blah. And I was obviously thinking she was kidding, and I said no, that wouldn't be cool, preying like on other people's bad life and depression and bad feelings, because by now I know that many people who take drugs or who decide to take drugs have problems in life and that are completely fucked up inside, broken often. Or just don't want to deal with their feelings, problems, whatever. Weak people. So obviously no, I said no. I don't think it's cool to be a drug dealer. Those people are losers. Can't amount to anything else in life, so they have to prey on weak people. Weak people that prey on even weaker people, It's like the scum of the earth. Yeah. But just stuff like that, made me now wonder if stuff was going on while we were together. She said, no, I never lied to you about boys and stuff like that. well, I don't believe any word out of her mouth anymore. So, yeah. Because obviously she was hiding lots of things, not telling me the whole truth about things, not talking about her problems with me, and not trusting me, maybe, I don't know. I didn't give her any reason not to trust me. I always trusted her blindly. That was probably my mistake. But yeah. Also, I said that, if you want to party it up with your friends, that's fine with me. I would give you that freedom. I just want to be together with you because, I love you. I didn't say that at the time, but, that's what I thought because I want to be with you, I said. She said, no, won't work out. What she loves about her new boyfriend is obviously that he doesn't give much of a fuck about her taking drugs. What she told me actually was that he said, I'm not worried about you taking cocaine because the leader of my old band, he took heroin and that's much worse. So cocaine is okay. I'm like, really? Cocaine is okay? Fucked up much yourself, eh? And she said, yeah, the only thing that he's worried about is my depression. But everyone worries about my depression. That's how she said it. And it was like, okay, great that you enjoy everyone being worried about you so much. Attention seeker again. Yeah, I don't know. I just really love your opinion on this, guys. Like I said, I haven't told you maybe every single detail because I can't recall every single detail anymore. I went through so much shit with that whole stuff that I kind of try to ignore and forget many things. This is like a therapeutic video for me. Just getting it all out one last time, thinking about it one last time, and then hopefully it is out of my head for good. Because, like I said, recently she contacted me again. Was kind of like a punch in the stomach. Just especially how she worded the message. I was hoping if she ever contacts me again, she would tell me that she's off the drugs. She said she had her shit in order big time. That's the only thing she said, and exactly like that. But she didn't state if she was off the drugs. I don't think so. I don't think she stopped seeing that 40-year-old daddy issue girl, obviously, but yeah. I don't think that she's gotten anything in order. Maybe she's doing therapy, but that doesn't mean anything yet. That's just the first step, and hopefully she's doing that, but I don't really care anymore. But yeah, I was really disappointed again in her because I was like, wow, this is the most selfish, self-observed apology, non-apology that I've ever received by anyone, and I showed that message to all of my friends. Haha. Not to be an asshole, just, because I couldn't believe it, what she was typing there. I was like, really? Really? My friends were like asking me actually, what was your first thought when you read that? I thought like, what a bitch. And they were like, yeah, exactly. So forget about that bitch. Finally stop thinking about her. Because, I can't help but to wonder sometimes if she ever gets better. Because I care. I'm not a cold-hearted person. She's hurt me a lot, but I still wonder if she will ever get better or not. I can't help it. It's just, anyway. I lost my train of thought, but yeah. Anyway, I would love your opinion on all of this. What do you think happened? Obviously, she had mental problems, big time. Handling it the wrong way, getting involved with the wrong people. Yeah. What that did to me, just to briefly talk about it, gave me big trust issues. Not trusting people at all easily anymore. Like before I didn't. I was always living by the attitude of trust people until they not deserve it anymore, until they do something. I mean, that's what happened, right? She just stopped deserving it at some point. But that hit me so hard that I kind of don't want to get involved with anyone romantically anymore. it just turned me off the whole thing so much that before I ever do that again, like seriously do that again, someone will have to gain my trust big time. Like, big time. Made me cringe of the thought of trusting anyone like that again. And being with someone again. Opening up like that again. Yeah, still, I don't know if I'm there, you know. Again, probably not. Otherwise, I wouldn't make this video about it. But yeah, let me know what you think. I hope I didn't forget anything. I don't know, actually. Not sure. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, guys, sorry that this video has gotten so long, but I think this was about it. If I ever if I think of a really important detail, I'll just film it afterwards and add it to this video, or make a new one at some point. But I think I got it all in. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you next time. Goodbye.